Today on Too Many Projects Garage, we're in my house and we're going to check out this sweet old microwave. Check this thing out. This is a Sharp carousel browning oven, and if you're wondering why am I making a video about an old microwave, this is not just any old microwave. There's not a video on the internet of this thing, and for some reason that just confounds me because this is such a neat thing. So check it out. You've got these sweet old dials here, and they make cool dings. You've got this dial here, as you can see, and you might be wondering what that is. It says browner up, browner down, so you'll see that in a second. Got this awesome like dial or gauge here. What do you want to call this? Lever, that's what I'm trying to say. Nice lever to open the door. This thing is built like a freaking tank. All stainless steel on the inside. It's like a commercial oven. And it's from 1976, so it's really old. No electronics inside. It's all manual electronics, and it's analog. But the cool thing is this is one of the first microwaves to have one of the spinning, carousels in it. Ever basically. All the other like radar ranges and ones of those prior, they just had a plate that went in here and your stuff just stayed still. So this is really cool. Also, it has this neat browning function. I do need to clean up this a little bit more. I have to get some, it is baked on there. You can see this comes off. It's like a little thing, but check this out. It's got a heating element that actually will brown your food, the top of your food, which is super cool. It like reflects it down, and you can put it in these different positions, which is super neat. Very cool, and I love it. Also, when you turn on this lights up, which is cool. There's a light inside, which is also neat. When you work this thing, you can actually set it to microwave for say 3 minutes, and then you can turn this on at the same time. So you could do 1 minute here and then 4 minutes there, and what it'll do is it'll cook it for 4 minutes with the microwave, then it'll switch over to the browning and finish it off with the browning, and then it'll be done, which is super neat. So we got a thing to do to this, and what I mean by thing is we've got to change out the light bulb inside here because it's very dim. And I found some really cool stuff online, and I'll show it to you guys here in just a second. Say hello to my cat Bill, though, first. He's so cute. He wants to go outside, but we don't let him go outside because they'll kill everything out there. So, anyways, check out what I just found. I found a whole bunch of goodies. Now, this didn't come with the microwave when I bought it, but I found online the original cookbook for this. It's the R8200. Billy, quit meowing. And look at all these. Look at all this. It's got a million recipes in here. So we're going to try out a recipe for this. Look at that original picture. How cool is that? Tells you how to use it, what microwaves is, what utensils, what you can use inside. It's super cool. Anyways, there's that. So I found that first. I was like, I have to have that to go with my microwave. Then I saw this inside. I was like, oh, this is neat. It's got accessories you could buy. Like a bundt pan, micro rack, muffin ring. I thought that was neat. And that came with this. And so I was like, I'm going to Google this and see if I can find anybody selling these accessories. Well, sure enough, I did find that exact accessory box with the accessories inside. So we're going to try these out. I think it'll be sweet. But yeah, original bundt pan, micro rack, and muffin pan, which is super cool. And then on top of that, I was like, oh, well, I wonder if we can find the service manual so I can work on it if I ever need to. Look at this, the original service manual. How cool. So it's got all the everything. It's got all the bits inside, tells you how to work on it, service it. Super cool. And I was like, I wonder if I can find the light bulb because the light bulb's super dim. And you can find all the part numbers. So I looked for it, And I did find the light bulb in here somewhere. There's a whole bunch of them. I think it might be, yeah, oven light. That's the menu light, but one of these lights. Anyways, so I found it in here, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can find that light for sale online. So I looked it up, couldn't find anything. Finally, I don't know how, but it just popped up the original light bulb in an original Sharp box. Bill, quit your meowing. Anyways, he's hungry. But yeah, the original Sharp box with the original light bulb. They said it works, so we'll just have to test it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take... Could you not? We're going to take this apart and put the new light bulb in. And we'll see what the insides look like. Because I haven't taken it apart yet. I've used it a bunch, actually. It works flawlessly. No problems at all. I'm going to have to take all this stuff down that my lady, for Halloween, has decorated. And we're going to dig into it and see what it looks like inside, as well as replace that light bulb. Alright guys, I got it turned around a little bit. Got all the stuff here. I took a picture of it before so I could put exactly back how it was, so my lady will not be upset with me. But looks like we got to take out basically these screws all around, and then on the sides here, kind of like most things, like receivers, etc. So we're going to do that, and then that's kind of interesting. The little, it's making like a projection. Check this out. 1976 December. Literally, it'll be what, 49 years old in like a couple months. It's pretty crazy, and this thing still works. What modern microwave would still be working after that long? You tell me which microwave, what modern one, apart from one that costs like $10,000, okay? Which one, or a commercial one? I doubt there's going to be very many consumer microwaves that still work. Now, I will say this thing did cost like, I don't know, anywhere between $300 to $600 in the 70s. I mean, I know it wasn't cheap. I couldn't find an exact price range on it, but I know it wasn't cheap, which equates to like over $5,000, which is pretty big. This is a substantial investment. Whoever bought this was not poor. They're probably really well off. That's all I have to say. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unscrew this thing. And I don't know if this is the first time this has ever been unscrewed. We'll find out. And I'll get all this unscrewed, and then we'll take off the top cover and we'll see what it looks like. And you may be wondering, before I take this cover off, why the heck is this guy so excited about an old microwave? And I wondered that myself, honestly. I was like, why am I so excited about it? But then I thought about it and I said, it's just because it's so neat and well built, and it's just such a cool artifact of a bygone era where we built in America stuff that, and this probably was built in Japan, but still, when things were built like quality and like to last, you know what I mean? Not saying that we don't do that now. It's just everything's very expensive if you build it to last like that. You know, it's like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 if you want it to last like 100 years or whatever. But I don't know. I just really think it's neat. It weighs close to 100 pounds. This thing is built like a truck. Like the old microwave I had was the Samsung. The screen had already started going out, and that leads me to believe that it's not going to last, you know, any significant amount of time. So what we're going to do is get this off, and we'll see what it looks like inside. All right, we got into it. Look at this thing. Ooh. Oh, wow. It's a little crusty, the foam is, but it's typical. Fan's a little dirty, but seems to be working. Look in here. Well, it's a little dirty in there, but not bad. Honestly, for basically 50 years, it's not too horrible looking. Now, I'm going to be careful with where I put my hands, but look at the mechanisms in here. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? It's got like a motor on the thing. There's the door opener right there. All the knobs. Bing. Oh, so cool. It's even louder with the thing off. All right, so the light should be on this side. Oh, I see it. Let's move it so we can actually see it. There's the light bulb. Now, the interesting thing is, this is like a clear light bulb. Let's unscrew it here. And the cool thing is it's actually screwed in. A lot of the modern light bulbs are soldered in. There it is. There's the old light bulb. And you can actually see the filament. Dusty. You can see the filament inside. Some of them are busted. So it was barely working. So I'm glad we got a new one. Now the weird thing is this one's clear, and the new one, let's open it up, is a frosted one, which is interesting. So I'm not sure why that is, but it's got to be better than this old one. But they do look identical. Check that out. So we're gonna go and throw this one in, and it does look new. But it's interesting how you see how it's like got a coloration inside. I don't know what's all that about, but it looks new. So we're gonna go ahead and screw it in. It's got to be better than before, right? Boom. Oh, I wonder if we could see the browner mechanism thing. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. It's got like linkages. So you pull this and it pulls this lever, big old lever here, and it pulls these actual cables to move that thing up and down. That is neat. I wonder what this one does. I guess I'll never know. But yeah, super cool. Oh yeah, here's the other light bulb. That one still works though. It's kind of interesting. So we're going to go ahead and put it all back together, and we're going to see if it's brighter, if it actually works. And it's clean enough inside that I don't feel like I need to do too much cleaning in there. Actually, let's test it out with it still open. I don't have to run it or anything. I just have to turn the knob. Oh, yeah, it's working. Now, I wouldn't say that's super bright. I mean, the menu light's way brighter, but I don't want to swap out the menu light for that because the menu light's so cool. So we're just going to... Maybe I should. What do you guys think? Should I swap them around, put this one up here and that one down there since this one's so much brighter? Tempting, tempting, tempting. I'll do it, honestly. I think it's worth it. All right, guys, I replaced the light bulb. I swapped them out. And I will say, unfortunately, this is not near as bright as it was at all. It's barely bright at all, but I mean, it obviously works, as you can see. But the inside is so much brighter, so I like that a lot better. So let's go ahead and get this put back together, and we'll see how it looks reverse. Worst case scenario, I can swap them around again, or I can find another brighter light bulb that fits that socket. And just like that, everything's back to normal. Wiped everything down, and check it out. Now, if we turn this light on, this is not near as bright, unfortunately, but, I mean, if you turn the lights off, it's lit up. So... not very brightly, but if it's at night, you know, which is where when you actually need that, it's going to be lit up. Also, check that inside out. You can actually see in there, whereas before you couldn't see it at all. I think the only light that was getting in there was actually coming from the menu light going down in. So that'll be really nice with it working, with the light working. I'm super excited. Now, if any of you guys know where I can find this light bulb, like another one, so I can actually put the bright one back up there, I would greatly appreciate it, because that little tiny one, it's not that great. So, but anyways, it was worth swapping it out. At the very least, we have both lights working, whereas we didn't have both of them working before. Very bright inside now, so I can actually see what I'm cooking. And here in a little bit, probably tonight, we'll go ahead and just cook something in here. It'll be fun. All right, we're back a couple days later, and we found a perfect little recipe here. Little miniature pizzas. So we got all the little ingredients here and the instructions. So we're going to try that out. We've got a little bit of light problem. Here we go. So we've got, here, read that at your own discretion. So I'm going to whip out all the ingredients, and we're going to try it out in the good old-fashioned microwave. Alright, so it says we need to get English muffins, which I got right here. We also need to get tomato sauce. Boom, pizza sauce. Mozzarella cheese slices, but it says diced, so we're just going to use this. And I kind of like, I've never tried this before, so we're going to give it a shot. Then we need grated Parmesan Romano, that's mixed in. We need oregano leaves. I'm going to use this Pizza Pasta Magic. So we're making our own, we're doing some liberties here. And then garnishes, which is pepperoni. So we're going to do some pepperoni on it, because who didn't like pepperoni? So I'm going to go ahead and get all these put together as how it says, and we'll see what it's like. Alright, it says put the muffins white side down. I'm guessing that's what that means, so that's what we're going to do. And it says to cook in position 1 for 6 minutes on the brown. So we're going to, it's already in position 1, which is really nice. So we're going to set it to 6 minutes, and we're going to cook. Boom. So we'll see how that does. Alright, we've got the first step done. Ooh, they are crispy. Very cool. So we got to flip them over. Keep in mind, this is cleaned. I did put a paper towel down initially, paper towel, but I was like, wait, it might burn the paper towels if I do that. So now we need to put a healthy daub of the sauce, it says. We got the sauce laid down. I go a little extra on the sauce just because I like a lot of sauce. So let's go ahead and put the next thing, the mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese applied. Now I really didn't think about how big the pepperonis are going to be because that's basically covers up the whole thing. So probably going to cut these into pieces and then put them on there. Alright y'all, I made a bit of a mess with the seasoning, but it'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and put these in for 2 minutes on roast. That's what it says. And we'll see what it looks like. And then it says once it's on 2 minutes for roast, well then we'll do 6 minutes on brown again. And then it should be done. Now what's cool is I'm going to set this to 2 minutes on roast and then 6 minutes on brown. And then once this is done, it should automatically go to that, which is pretty sick. So now it's going to cook away. You can kind of just barely see it in there. But in person, it's actually much more visible inside. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and we'll see how it does. Alright, look at that. Just finished up. It's actually looking really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And we're going to set it on the stove over here. And then we'll snack on them and see what they're like. And I'll let you guys know once I'm done eating. Alright, me and my lady chowed down on those little pizzas. They were very good. I highly recommend them. And you saw the recipe on the video. So if you want to replicate it, sort of, you may have to do it without the microwave, but the little pizzas are a good idea. Probably do it in your normal oven if you wanted to, or in your microwave, I guess. Just won't be as crispy. But the only thing I would say that I would maybe improve on is crisp it up a little bit more, like in the first step. And then maybe so lower down the burner a little closer. And then also the English muffins are a little bit sweet, which I don't know if that's how they normally are, but they were. So that's another little weirdness, but other than that, they were really good, and I put a lot of pepper on it, so I'm a little spiced out right now, but it was very good. But let me know what you guys think of the microwave. I think it's really cool, and I'll see you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage.